surrounded by wrestling fans. Not sports entertainment fans. Professional wrestling fans! Professional wrestling! This is it! This is us standing up! This is
the Wrestling Matters Podcast, a podcast that stands up for professional wrestling. Why? Because wrestling matters. So join the revolution, because the revolution is now. Hey, start the show.
World, look into my eyes. When you see me on a show, when you see these fans, you know you've got the best in the damn world. We are ICW and you're gonna know our name. Here we fucking go!
Ladies, gentlemen, and whoever else is listening to this, ICW fans, professional wrestling fans, stand up for pro wrestling fans, whatever, ICW Mafia, welcome to another episode of the ICW Podcast. That's right, the podcast that brings you nothing but ICW. And this week, we're going to review the Alex Kidd show in London, which took place April 19th, 2015. Hope you've enjoyed these previous podcasts. Hope you've enjoyed the previous episodes of this podcast series. And without further ado, we'll get right into it, guys. Alex Kidd in London started off with a six-way match for the Zero-G Championship. Liam Thompson versus Kenny Williams versus Paul Robinson versus 55-member Kid Fight versus Stevie Boy versus Danny Hope, the reigning champion. Tag team match included in this match. Stevie Boy and Liam start off. Chain wrestling to start. Stevie, using his quickness, hits a heel kick. Kid Fight tagged in, worked on Stevie. Stevie hits a shooting star press, standing shooting star press. Kenny breaks it up. Kenny misses a running knee. Kid Fight rolls up. Kenny rolls through. Kenny hits a springboard elbow. Then takes two super kicks from Danny Hope. Sorry, there was a lot to read there. Paul dives on Hope. Then Stevie and Kenny do dives of their own. Paul hits curb stomp. Yes, curb stomp. It's not banned in ICW like it is in WWE. And gets a near fall. Lights go out. NAK hit the ring and beat down Paul and then take him to the back, like abducting him. Chris Renfrew stays in, looking to capitalize on Stevie Boy, but Davey Boy comes out and spears Chris. Kenny and Stevie go toe to toe in the ring, hard hitting shots. Kenny hits the Quackbuster finishing move. Kid Fight stops that. Powerbomb Tiger Bomb combo gets a near fall for Kid Fight. Stevie jumps off the second rope right into a super kick from Hope. Liam hits a backcracker. Liam takes the fight to Stevie Boy, hits another backcracker, gets a near fall. Kaylee Ray comes out, hits a drop kick on Liam. Then Stevie Boy hits a super kick, then an enziguri, and gets the win and becomes the new ICW Zero-G champion. Stevie then looks up to the commentator's booth and invites Joe Hendry, shows Joe Henry, this is who you'll be facing very, very soon, because Joe Henry is the number one contender for the Zero-G Championship, and basically Stevie Boy called him out. Danny Hope backstage says he is disappointed to lose his title and says he wants a one-on-one match next time he's in ICW for the Zero-G title. Good luck with that. Now for a match which was a grudge match with two guys who've never liked each other. There has been some respect, but they've never liked each other, which is Lionheart and Chris Renfrew. To start off, Renfrew spits on Lionheart. Toe-to-toe in the ring, Renfrew goes for a stunner. Lionheart goes for a rock bottom. Lionheart sends Chris to the outside. Advantage Lionheart. Lionheart dives on Chris. Lionheart taking the fight to Renfrew. Fight back in the ring. Renfrew hits a neck breaker. Gets a near fall. Renfrew looks to work on the neck. Float over suplex gets Chris a near fall. Renfrew in control. Lionheart fighting back. Renfrew hits second rope drop kick. Renfrew hits a boot on Chris. Bounce No, let me say that again. Pardon my mistake. Lionheart hits a boot on Chris, bounces off the ropes, right into a stunner from Renfrew. Then Chris runs into a super kick. Then Lionheart runs into a clothesline. Lionheart off the top, frog splash on Renfrew. Renfrew gets his knees up, counter for counter. Lionheart hits a stunner and gets a close near fall. 1 second away from a victory there for Lionheart. Renfrew counters a super kick into a rock bottom, gets a near fall. Renfrew goes for the frog splash. Lionheart gets his knees up, hits a rock bottom and gets a near fall. Lionheart goes on the second rope and jumps right into a stunner, which gets Renfrew the victory. And then, but after that, great match, by the way, for what it was. Lots of high hitting offense. And yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that one again. Noam Dies backstage says he came to London to fight Wolfgang, but thanks to an illness on Wolfgang, that would not happen, so he called out and said he would wrestle Mark Coffey instead. Stevie Boy celebrates his title win with Davey Boy and Kaylee Ray and says they are taking over the company. It's just the start. Yeah, it was. And in 2 weeks we find out what they mean, or what Stevie Boy means by that, because in 2 weeks I will review the Flawless Victory show, and let's just say that was the end of the Bucky Boys. More on that in 2 weeks. Marty Scurll versus Joe Coffey was supposed to be a one-on-one match, but it turned into a triple threat match because Jack Gallagher was brought into the match. Crowd getting to Marty, Joe getting to the fans because they were throwing things at him, saying that he would beat the crap out of the person who did it. Double team on Coffey. Coffey has a power advantage, gives Jack a shoulder block. Coffey suplexes them both, single-handedly, by the way. Marty gets a near fall, then gets swinged. Jack stopped that. Double team on Coffey continues. Armbar on Marty. Marty breaks it up by Jack, the armbar. Marty breaks out. Pin after pin after pin. Jack and Marty get near falls. Marty rolling Jack around the ring, getting pins, and just turned weird for a minute there. Coffey hits double drop kick off the top. Jack stands tall after hitting drop kick. Misses a splash though. Chop fest in the ring between Joe and Marty. Back suplex uppercut, gets a near fall for Coffey. Hits the pop-up uppercut on Marty. Jack hits a move off the top rope on Joe. Armbar on Coffey, Marty breaks that. Cradle neck breaker move gets Marty a near fall. Cradle neck breaker, which was, he had him in like a wrapped him up in like a cradle move. Went to suplex him, but dropped his head on the knee, his neck area across the knee, and got a near fall with it. Tornado DDT roll through, but Marty goes for the chicken wing. Jack turns it into an armbar. Joe hits the deadlift suplex on Jack. Near fall by Marty. Joe showing his power. Suplex bomb gets Marty a near fall on Joe. Marty takes a swing at Joe with a weapon, then counters a discus clothesline with a forearm, hits another one, but runs into a discus clothesline by Joe, which allows Joe Coffey to win. A very, very good triple threat match. Lionheart, however, is backstage after that, reflects on his loss and says thank you to the London fans. I think Renfrew may have given him a concussion, I'm not sure. And then on to one of the main events of the first half, which was the London Street Fight. As Grado does his entrance, Shah comes down and whacks him with a chair. Shah taking the fight to Grado. Grado kicks the chair in Shah's face, then delivers the wee boot, driving the chair into Shah's face, sending him outside. Hits a rolling slice on the outside, off the apron, onto Shah. Grado taking the fight to Shah outside. Grado gets the help of fans, and they deliver chops, including one person called Steve Dawson, at Top Rope Elbow on Twitter. Yep, he was in the front row of that show, and he actually chopped Shah Samuels as Grado was bringing him round the ring. So at Top Rope Elbow on Twitter for anyone who wants to speak to Mr. Dawson about that experience or follow him in general. But yeah, shout out to you, Mr. Dawson. Rolling slice on Shah on the outside. Shah was sat in the corner of the guardrails, and then he does a roll. Grado does a rolling slice. Street fight rules, baby. Shah throws chair at Grado's face, then hits him with it. Most of this match was fought on the outside. Diving clothesline on Grado from the stairs by Shah. Fight goes to the stage. Grado counters a power drive move or power drive attempt by Shah and backdrops him. Grado goes for Dusty Rose on Shah. the bionic elbow, the jabs, and the bionic elbow. But Shah stops the elbow attempt, and then Grado eventually gets the elbow. Second time lucky. Another rolling slice in the ring. This time gets a near fall by Grado. Advantage Grado. Shah stops the wee boot, hits his pedigree move, which is plunge to the Thames, I believe they call it, and gets a near fall. Shah just toying with Grado. And by the way, he did that move on the chair. Right hand, Shah hits another one, but another pedigree move, the plunge to the Thames, but Grado kicks out on one. Grado hitting Shah with right hands, not working. Grado Mania lives, hits Shah with a chair, then hits an F5, and Grado gets a big victory in the London street fight. What's next for that feud, I do not know, but it's going to be big, I know that. Now, BT Gunn, I think it was supposed to go to a break, although attempted to go to a next match, which was Mark Coffey and Noam Dar, but BT Gunn and Mikey Whiplash were brawling at the bar area, and they basically just said, ring the bell, let's do it. So they did, and BT gets pushed off the stairs. They walk up the stairs in the crowd, which led to the broadcast booth, the balcony area. BT gets pushed off it, and then there Mikey dives over. Both men brawling back to the ring. Back in the ring, BT discus forearm, then kicks Mikey. Mikey hits the zombie mick and gets a near fall. Drop kick to the knee of Mikey, flips over, actually did flip over, and BT works the leg area of Mikey. BT in control, working the leg of Mikey in a lot of trouble. Fight outside, BT in total control. Drop kick to Mikey off the apron outside. Mikey sits in the corner, he just runs off the apron and just drop kicks him in the face. No regard for his own body. Just drop kicks him right in the face. Ugly. Never seen anything like that before. And then throws it back in the ring and gets a near fall. BT goes to whip Mikey, but Mikey, too much work on his leg and that, just falls. Mikey in a lot of trouble. Mikey dives on BT, fighting through the pain, but it does not work because he goes to dive again. But as he goes to dive, or set up the dive, he just falls down. BT spits blood in Mikey's face and gets a near fall, then locks in a sharpshooter. BT goes backstage, brings a guardrail out, sets it up at ringside, wakes Mikey up, but Mikey fights back and takes it to BT. Mikey looks to put BT through the guardrail, but BT counters. Mikey looks to slide under. BT was going to run at him, and Mikey was looking to slide underneath the bottom rope, underneath BT, as they do the counter. But as he grabbed over the bottom rope, actually, it wasn't the bottom rope, it was the second rope. Actually grabbed over the second rope, it snapped, and very awkwardly and very painfully, Mikey goes right through the guardrail to the outside, hitting hard. BT, not going to wait low, looks to take advantage of that mistake. BT hits the gunshot, which is the slingshot cutter, slingshot RKO, diamond cutter, whatever you want to call it, and gets a near fall. Both men go toe-to-toe in the ring. It was just a fight at this point. I think it was a fight for most of the match, to be fair. Mikey hits a clothesline, gets a near fall. Bulldog counted into the Blue Thunder Bomb by Mikey and gets a near fall. Mikey goes backstage and brings a chair out, which was the NAK's chair, had their list of victims on, and goes to work on BT with it. But Renfrew comes out and makes a save for BT and goes to work on Mikey with the chair. BT brings a barbed wire chair and barbed wire crown, hits Mikey with the chair and then puts the crown on Mikey's head. And the match got thrown out, by the way, due to Chris Renfrew's interference. And pretty good first half. Coming up next is the second half, and the matches include Mark Coffey versus Noam Dar, Big Damo versus the Bastard, Dave Mastiff, and the three-way triple threat match for the ICW World Championship, including Drew Galloway, Sabu, and Jack Jester. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. There's more to come right after this, so stay tuned. For new episodes of the Wrestling Matters podcast, as well as other great professional wrestling related content, be sure to check out the Wrestling Matters channel on YouTube at www.youtube.com/AJW Wrestling Matters. You'll get weekly episodes of the podcast, and you'll get other great wrestling content as well. Be sure to check it out, subscribe, like, and do all that good stuff. The Wrestling Matters channel, where wrestling matters, on YouTube. If you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, why not check out the Wrestling Matters podcast Facebook fan page at www.facebook.com/WM podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.
Be sure to listen to the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast.
What?
Every Sunday with Kenny Killer and the Galdem Sugar Shugs.
Yes!
With all the news, views, and laughter that you want.
They like jet airplanes. Woo! They like long limousines.
Every Sunday, the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast on Podomatic, iTunes, and YouTube.
So why don't you choke on that, slap nut?
If you're a fan of the Wrestling Matters podcast, be sure to check out the Wrestling Matters podcast Twitter page at WM Podcast for news, reviews, and upcoming episodes, and you will be let know on various other topics as well in the world of professional wrestling. So if you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, be sure to follow the Wrestling Matters podcast on Twitter at WM Podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Be sure to tune in every single Tuesday now for the Wrestling Matters Podcast Extra, where I'll be hosting a podcast on one promotion and one promotion only. ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, the hottest promotion in Scotland. Well, I'll be reviewing their shows. Oh my God! Talking ICW.
That's 13-14!
And who knows, maybe getting some guests on. So be sure to tune in to the Wrestling Matters Podcast Extra ICW podcast, Insane Championship Wrestling, every Tuesday on YouTube, Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, downloaded free at iTunes, Mixcloud, and SoundCloud. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.
World, look into my eyes. When you see me on a show, when you see these fans, you know you've got the best in the damn world. We are ICW and you're gonna know our name. Here we fucking go!
It's already mangled from those chair shots. Oh, there's Renfrew coming to the rescue. Ringing the bell. Thomas Kells is calling. He's thrown it out. Our senior referee has just seen too much.
A sharp top end of the chair there into the throw Mikey Whiplash.
He's instructing Simon Cassidy. After everything we saw, the weapons coming in. And what are they doing? You know something?
Using the weight of the chair to choke Mikey Whiplash.
The last time we saw the New Age Clique in London, they tried to kill, I'll come out and say it, kill Wolfgang, and he is now within their ranks. That's someone they like. A barbed wire, what is that, a crown? He's got a barbed wire steel chair, look at that. The device of pain. Mikey Whiplash, Legion are not here. The other two members of the Sumerian Death Squad are not here. I think that might have blinded. It's almost like they're trying to carve right into the mind.
Let's just tally the damage thus far to Mikey Whiplash, okay? He's had those steel steps crush his already injured leg. He went back first, through the guardrail, onto the hard floor, and he's taken a barbed wire steel chair to the face. Now adding insult to injury, the crown of barbed wire.
And look at that smile across the face of BT Gunn. I don't know what this gestures, this religious symbolism. A crucifixion perhaps of Mikey Whiplash. The man that has injected such fear into the fans and the wrestlers of British professional wrestling. And the New Age Clique have they finally ended Mikey Whiplash?
Welcome back to the ICW podcast, presented by Wrestling Matters, of course. I am your host, the head Anthony Walker, and as you probably heard the intro there, guys, during the commercial break there, that was an audio of the NAK jumping Mikey Whiplash, Chris Renfrew in particular, and proceeding to destroy Mikey Whiplash in the process. So, like I say, if you want to hear that, if you want to see that for yourself, guys, I'm reviewing it today, but if you want to see this show, just like all the other shows that I reviewed, plus other great content from ICW, you need to get the ICW On Demand service. £3.75 a month, equivalent to $6 in the US. Overseas, just go and get it, guys. If you haven't got it, you really are missing out, seriously. But with that being said, we'll get right back in to part 2 of the show, which started off with Noam Dar one-on-one with Mark Coffey. Now, this was supposed to be the match before I got interrupted by the BT Gun and Mikey Whiplash fight. But Noam Dar versus Mark Coffey, one half of the world of the ICW Tag Team Champions, soon to be, I'm sure, probably World Tag Team Champions, I don't know. But anyway, the two start off, mat wrestling to start off, feeling out process begins. Chain wrestling, still feeling each other out. Advantage Dar though. Dar one step ahead of Coffey, but Coffey has the power advantage, but Dar has the quickness advantage. Coffey hits a drop kick, taking the fight to Dar. Quick roll up from Dar, gets a near fall. Hard hitting style from Coffey proves to be effective. Coach toying with Dar, but Coffey stops that. Dar dives on Coffey and Coach outside. Dar gets a near fall. Dar takes away the legs of Coffey. Both men toe to toe on the apron. Dar goes to kick Coffey but kicks the ring post. Back in the ring, both men go toe to toe in the middle of the ring. Kick fight between the two. Dar got the best of it. Dar rolls up. Coffey gets a near fall. Dar takes dead wish, then the deadlift suplex. Dar gets a near fall, back and forth match. Dar getting the better of Coffey. Dar hits some combos and then a clothesline. Dar takes out Coach, hits an enziguri. Coffey hits a suplex and gets a near fall. Mistake by Coffey. Dar locks in the leg lock and makes Mark Coffey, one half of the Tag Team Champions, tap out, just like he's done to everybody else he has got in that hole. Great wrestling match, not bad for the time they had, which was 10 minutes. 10 minutes-ish anyway. And every single match that Dar always ends up in, he always seems to have a great wrestling match between him and his opponent. Would he have had that with Wolfgang? I don't know. Now for, I guess you could say, Demo and Mastiff 2, 3 or 4, I don't know, I lost count. But on this occasion it was, I believe it was 4-3, it was one of them. But hey, just like last week on the show that I reviewed last week, After Mastiff beat Demo, Demo challenged him one-on-one to a match. Or was it Demo beat Mastiff? I think Demo beat Mastiff, Demo challenged him to another match, and the winner of this match ends, which was today for this show, which was, the last one was in Birmingham, and Mastiff and Demo winner gets a shot at the ICW champion. Demo moves out of the way of a dropkick by Dave Mastiff, but hits a dropkick of his own. Demo sets up a Van Daminator, Dave stops that. Dave jumps into a clothesline, near fall back for Mastiff. Demo slammed, gets back up, slams Mastiff, Sinton then takes a dropkick, hits a Sinton then takes a dropkick. Mastiff in control, rocks Demo with headbutts. Demo suplexes Mastiff, wow indeed, gets a near fall. Mastiff looked for a DVD but his legs gave way. Demo stands on Mastiff, hits a Sinton, gets a near fall. Demo taking it to Mastiff, getting a near fall. Demo slowing things down with a rear chin lock. Both men taking big punishment. Dropkick by Demo, sets up for the Van Demonator, just like he tried to do early on in the match. But again, Mastiff will not quit, and Mastiff stops that. And also, this time around though, hits his top rope suplex on Demo. Throwing forearms in the middle of the ring, Mastiff will not quit. Both men are on their knees, getting up to their feet, back on their knees again. It was just a fight. Absolute fight. Hard-hitting stuff. It's a fight. Mastiff hits a crossbody, then German suplexes, then hits a German suplex, gets a near fall, then hits a clothesline, gets a near fall. Demo backdrops Mastiff, then hits the whirly go round, gets a near fall. Demo goes for a move again. Mastiff Germans him in the corner, misses the cannonball. Demo hits a clothesline. Mastiff gets up. Mastiff takes 2 bro kicks, one with a chair, then stands on Dave, driving the chair into him. He stands on the chair, literally driving into his chest, and then gets the Sinton, and Demo wins the match. Both men at the end show respect. I wouldn't mind seeing that match again, to be honest with you. Hopefully ICW can put that together again. Like I said, both men show respect at the end, and rightly so. Now for the 3-way elimination match for the ICW Championship, which involves Sabu, Jack Jester, and Drew Galloway. Jack jumps Drew, both men double team Drew to start off. Air Sabu with a little help from Jester. Sabu takes charge, slingshot, leg drop, gets a near fall. Jester using the chair goes for Air Sabu. Sabu throws the chair back into Jack and uses it, then takes a shotgun kick by Drew. Drew gets a near fall. Advantage Drew taking it to Sabu, says fuck you to him. Yep. Just sticks 2 fingers up in his face and says fuck you. in the corner. Nice one. Hits a suplex, looks to use the chair, but Sabu throws it in his face, then uses it. Jack takes Sabu outside and takes it to him. Fight goes in the crowd. Drew dives off the apron onto Sabu and Jester. Jack and Sabu fight through the crowd. Drew joins them. All three men in the bar area. Fans hold Sabu as Drew nails a chop. This match turned into a brawl. Drew hits Sabu with a bin. You heard me correct. And then slams him on the wall. And then slams Jack into the wall, rather. Fight back in the ring. Sabu throws a chair at Drew. Leaping clothesline sends Drew outside. Jack back in the ring. Chair fight. Sabu wins that. Arabian facebuster, which kind of looked like it was on the arm at first. I believe it was on the face, but from where I saw, it looked like it was on the arm. Uses Jack's weapon against him. Drew hits Sabu from behind with a chair. Drew hits a backbreaker, driving Jack onto the chair and gets a near fall. Doesn't use his knee, uses the chair. Drew hits the future shock onto the chair. Jack onto the chair, just gets Sabu. Hits him with the future shock onto the chair. Jack gets the pin, no. Sabu's eliminated. Down to Jack and Drew. Both men go toe-to-toe in the ring. Drew hits a clothesline. Drew hits Celtic Cross, which is the Irish curse, what Sheamus calls it in WWE, off the top rope. Gets a near fall. Drew hits a hanging, I'll say that again. Drew hits a hanging suplex, not easy to say, on the chairs, gets a near fall. Drew in control. Drew hits the future shock on Jack and gets a near fall. Drew then goes for the electric screwdriver, goes to use it, which he does. Drew then thinks, what the fuck, throws it away. Drew in control, hits a tombstone, and Drew retains the championship and gets the victory in the triple threat match. ICW fans, though, show respect to Jack as well as Drew did as well. He saluted him with the belt, and Jack and the fans show respect to Jack Jester as well because he took a beating in that match. With that being said, though, guys, I really enjoyed that. Alex Kidd in London, April 19th. I'm going to give that 5 out of 5. And once again, ICW just delivers good shows all around, as they do. That's why I'm a subscriber, because ICW is where it's at. And like I said before, I'd reviewed part 2. You should get ICW on demand. If you haven't got ICW on demand, you are totally missing out. And trust me, what you see, if you have got ICW on demand or you haven't got it, what you see on that on demand service, there's going to be a lot more to come. Trust me. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the ICW podcast, presented by Wrestling Matters and me, your host, the HD, the A, the D, the host of the Wrestling Matters podcast. Hope you've enjoyed it. Tune in next week when I'll be reviewing the Up, Down, Left, Right AC Start show, which was in Sheffield. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anthony Walker, like I say, HD, the A, the D, signing out. ICW, where wrestling matters. Peace out. Sure to tune in every single Tuesday now for the Wrestling Matters Podcast Extra, where I'll be hosting a podcast on one promotion and one promotion only, ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, the hottest promotion in Scotland. Well, I'll be reviewing their shows. Oh my God! Talking ICW.
That's 13-14!
And who knows, maybe getting some guests on. So be sure to tune in to the Wrestling Matters Podcast Extra ICW podcast, Insane Championship Wrestling, every Tuesday on YouTube, Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, download it free at iTunes, Mixcloud, and SoundCloud. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.
World, look into my eyes. When you see me on a show, when you see these fans, you know you've got the best in the damn world. We are ICW and you're gonna know our name. Here we